Hi guys, welcome back to the Max Spence Business Podcast. Today I have a very special guest. Her name's Kris. She's actually she's got quite a following on TikTok with 3.4 million followers. Her handle is Kallmekris. It's great having you on, Kris.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So why don't we jump right into this? Why don't we do a little intro about a little bit about your background and sort of how did you get into TikTok?
Yeah, so I am originally from BC, Canada, and I am currently a hairdresser by trade. And I started TikTok just when quarantine kind of started, like during the pandemic. So around, I think it was like April. And yeah, it's just kind of gone downhill from there. I just kind of kept growing and growing, and now I'm here, and now it's like kind of a second job for me now. So it's kind of crazy.
That's awesome. That's I had a guy on my podcast previously who's he's just creating a new platform for podcasting. It's called Listen, and he was saying like from COVID, a lot of people actually started using social media platforms like TikTok and also starting podcasts as well. So that's awesome. So actually, how old are you right now?
I'm 24.
You're 24. Okay, awesome. So you're a hairdresser by trade, and then sort of like, do you have any? Because your TikTok's very funny. It's very comedic. How did you move from being doing hairdressing, and did you have like a comedy background at all? Were you doing stand up? Were you doing like other little skits? Maybe through high school or university at all?
Yeah, no, I have no background in comedy at all. I am just, I'm still a hairdresser. I still work full time. I work like 5, 6 days a week. But no, I never like studied acting or comedy or anything like that. I've never done stand up. All things I would love to do, but I just never really had the guts to start doing it. So TikTok was kind of a way to be like, okay, maybe I can put myself out there and see how people perceive me and everything. And so far, it's gone pretty good. So
Yeah,
maybe it'll lead to something else, but I don't know.
yeah, well, you like exploded on the app, and it's starting to convert to. I know that you have a YouTube channel and your Instagram's growing and all that sort of stuff, which is amazing. I'm actually really surprised that you don't have a comedy background because I watched a few of your TikToks, and you're very funny, and your facial expressions are like on point with like when you do like the voiceovers and stuff, which I think are amazing.
Oh,
How did
thanks.
how did you actually get like have you always sort of been like I don't know, with like groups of friends, have you always sort of been like the funny one, or how did you
Yeah, I
actually?
mean, yeah, I mean, at least in my family, I've always been kind of the goofier one, I guess. I'm goofy around my friends too, but I'd say I'm a little bit more reserved. I kind of save it for more like close friends and family kind of thing. And just doing it in front of a camera, I feel like I'm just by myself anyway. So, but yeah, I consider myself like an extroverted introvert. So, but yeah, I've always been like this. Like I'm pretty much myself. How I am on TikTok is how I am in real life. Maybe a little bit more chill, but yeah.
That's awesome. So how did you actually get so good at the facial expressions? Like I didn't go too far into like sort of the beginning when you first started posting, because I'm just like you're very consistent with putting out a lot of
Yeah.
content. Even with managing,
Yeah, so it's a
even with
lot.
doing even with doing a full-time job, you're like you said, you're running. It's pretty much like you're running a business on the side, and you're starting to grow that as you also have a full-time job, which is amazing. So how did you get good at like the facial expressions and all the comedic sort of that sort of side of things?
Yeah, I honestly didn't even really know that I was good at facial expressions until people that were following told me I was. I mean, I've always followed, I mean, some of my favorite actors are like Jim Carrey and Robin Williams and that kind of thing. So I would do things like practice those silly faces in front of the mirror, but I've always just been kind of expressive. Like even when I was younger, my family and friends always told me I just had like such an elastic face, I guess. So yeah, it's nothing I ever really practiced. It's just kind of I'm very expressive through my face, I guess, and body movements and everything. I'm just very animated.
Okay, awesome. So, when did you actually
Yeah.
start seeing it to start blowing up? Like, how many did you sort of see it right away with the first couple posts? And when did you actually start taking it a lot more seriously and start being like, hey, this might actually be like a viable business option to start growing, my followers, and then be able to market that into for sponsors, and maybe yeah, I see you also, do you have your own merch line?
I do, yeah, I do, and I'm working with another like design team and that kind of thing too, which is kind of cool for a different merch line. But yeah, I guess I started to blow up, blow up, quote unquote, around probably like the first few weeks I was in it, maybe the third or fourth week. I just had a couple videos go viral, and but since I started, I've posted every single day since I've started, just because I enjoy it, not even just because like I thought it could be something. I never joined TikTok to get quote unquote TikTok famous or anything. It just kind of happened. So I'm just kind of rolling with it right now, and I'm still really enjoying it. And I treat it like it's a hobby, but also kind of a job at the same time. So, but yeah, I've had nothing but positive experiences with it. So I'm just kind of rolling with it right now and making it into hopefully some sort of business, and maybe some other things in the future, and expanding over to YouTube and Instagram and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and I fully like, just like even well, getting to 3.4 million followers is not easy. Like, it's like you said, you have to be consistent with putting out content, and the content you're putting out has to be, good quality content, which has some thinking behind of it and good execution qualities of it as well, which you're doing. So it's paying
Mm-hmm.
off, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So when did you actually, so let's say for somebody who's wanting to get into TikTok and stuff, or, maybe they're at the beginning, they got maybe a few thousand followers and they want to get up to, the million followers or plus sort of status. What would some advice be to them to sort of grow their TikTok?
Yeah, and I mean it's pretty generic, and it might not be what people want to hear, but I mean just staying consistent and being yourself and doing stuff that you actually think is, well, you don't even have to be funny. It's whatever you want to do on TikTok. But I find that you can kind of see through the people that are forcing trying to be funny or trying to be entertaining or that kind of thing. And or if they're just doing trends because it's popular to do trends or that kind of thing. Like I'm pretty choosy with like what trends I pick up on and that kind of thing, and I'll just try to make everything into my own. I think being obviously I do lip syncs and stuff, so there's definitely some content that's not completely original, but making it somehow your own and making your content original is what people enjoy, because TikTok's so saturated with all of the same kind of content, whether it's dancing or comedy or lip syncs or whatnot. So you really need to like set yourself apart from that. And I find trying to be relatable with people has helped me, because people like to like tell stories about their childhood and that kind of thing. So if I do something in regards to my mom or my dad or my brothers and sisters or just being out in public or whatever and my experiences, people like to go in the comments and be like, oh, that happened to me or something like that, right? So it's just good to be relatable on that platform, at least in my experience. So yeah, I think that really helps with it. And then obviously, yeah, being consistent, at least posting once a day kind of thing, just so people know that you're not going to fall off, because yeah.
Okay, yeah, that does make sense. So how are you so let's say for some people that maybe have started and stopped, how have you been able to keep, so since you started, have you actually, you've posted every single day? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I have. And it's just because, I mean, I like to, but I usually only make my TikToks like one day a week, maybe 1 or 2 days a week. I just make a bunch, and then I'll just post them through the week. So I just kind of make a quota for myself, and then just to cover all my days, and then just go from there. And it's not that I feel pressured to, but you just build up like this following, and you feel like you should have content for people that are following you. So I'm sure I'll take a day off sometime, just I just have content, so it's like, okay, well, if I have it, then I'll post it. If I run out of ideas, then I'll take a break, and I'll yeah. So but yeah, it's been kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so that's one question I actually wanted to ask you about was how does it feel to like,
Mhm.
making that transition to like, did you ever think you were going to be into like the YouTube space and become like an influencer and stuff like that? Or is it sort of like surreal right now as it's sort of happening? You're like, the conversions are happening, your Instagram's growing at like because I looked at your Instagram like maybe a couple, like when I first contacted you, you're at like I think like 70 something or 80 something. And then you jump like, then I just looked at it again and it was like at like 110 or something or 100. So I was like, okay, wow, you're like growing pretty
Yeah.
fast on it.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's growing so fast. And no, I was like one of those people that had like a few hundred followers on Instagram. I posted like 1 or 2 times a year. Like I really didn't care that much. And then I hopped on TikTok and then all this happened. And I'm still learning to become like a, I keep saying quote unquote, but like a quote unquote influencer and everything. I never liked that word because it's just like I'm just having fun, right? So I mean, but if people want to follow me and they're entertained by me, then that's great. Like, but yeah, I'm definitely still getting used to it, and I'm not fully like comprehending what's going on yet because it has been so fast. It's only been like 4.5 months that this has all happened. So I'm just like it's just mind blowing to me. But yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that actually sort of leads into another question is because like a lot of people
Mm,
are, maybe don't see, being a YouTube, being like a YouTuber, Instagram influencer, all this stuff is like not real. Like they're like, oh, it's not real jobs. But to be honest, they are becoming real jobs because like you're seeing the earnings that some
yeah,
of these
absolutely.
creators, yes, some of these creators are making. And you see like at the top of the platform, I'm pulling in, a few $1 million a year and they're like in their early 20s and it's to be honest it's a very serious job and you can make quite a sizable living from doing it. So it's awesome to talk to somebody
Yeah.
actually like who's in the stage right now is like in the blowout, like when it's all still happening and it's all sort of like fresh, which is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's definitely a real job. And I yeah, like I'm like everybody else. I watch YouTube all the time. I watch TikTok. I did all those things and I'm like, wow, that's really cool for them that they can do that kind of job. And I never in a million years thought that I could just start a YouTube channel and like within the first couple days have like 20,000 subscribers or whatever I have on there right now, which is like crazy to me. Even though I have like 3 million on TikTok, I think that even having like 100 on YouTube to start off is like awesome. So for that to possibly be maybe a career, it's really cool. And I never thought that that could ever happen. And not saying that it will, I have no idea. But yeah, for right now, it's like, okay, this is actually possible. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, another thing I want to talk to you about has because a lot of people that maybe have dreams of, saying like, hey, I don't want to work the, let's say, office job or work at a bank or work the traditional route. I want to do entertainment, right? And they're in Canada. The majority of people, let's say
Mhm.
in US is a lot bigger for influencers and stuff like that. Canada, I find is there's not many that actually pop out and sort of come out of the woodwork and make it to the top or make it or on the climb to make it to the top.
Mhm.
So have you had pushback from anybody like, being like, oh, why are you wasting your time with that? Or you shouldn't be putting your energy into that, or you should putting it into something else?
Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty lucky, and my family, I definitely grew up with a conservative family. So even going into hairdressing, my parents were very reluctant, and they wanted me to have a pension and all that kind of stuff. Um, and then I went off and did my own hair business and all that kind of stuff. So me jumping into this, they were just like, okay, she knows what she's doing, and this is. It was very expected of me because I've always been a bit off kilter and the black sheep of the family. So but with friends and people that I used to go to school with and all that kind of stuff, I've had a few people that are just like, you can't actually have this as a job, you know that, right? And all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, you know what? Like maybe, like you don't know, you don't know me, and that just like pushes me even further. I'm just like, I'm gonna do it now. Like,
Yeah,
but yeah, and then obviously you get like the trolls on the internet and stuff, and it's just like whatever. I'm just having fun, so.
yeah, and I think that's a great thing to, is like as long as like no matter what happens, as long as you have fun with it, and by the end of like, that's the same
Yeah.
thing with this podcast, right? It's like I love doing this because I love having conversations with awesome people such as yourself, and being able to
Oh,
network with
thanks.
different people across the world and stuff. So yeah, but
Totally.
a lot of people, like I've talked to other people and they say, oh, I couldn't do that, because a lot of people might say, oh, don't do that or it's stupid or something like that. And have like I know that you said you didn't maybe run into it as much. What would you say to somebody sort of who's like in that? Because you probably still catch a little bit of flack for, as when you're on the come up, right? You catch quite a bit of crap just for, people being jealous and stuff, and they want to be doing what you're doing, but for whatever reason they
Hmm.
do it. So what would you say to somebody who's like wanting to take that route, and then maybe they're in high school or first year university or something?
Yeah, I mean, you can never, if you want to take that route, you need to do it. And that's the problem. That's even with people that I run into on TikTok or YouTube or anything like that. Or like the haters, if you call it, you'll get this hate comment or something, and then you'll go over to their page and they're not even posting anything, but they're saying like stuff along the lines of, well, why does she have this many followers? Because like, why don't I? And it's like, well, because I'm trying to do something. The advice I give to somebody is to just put yourself out there and be yourself, and like you can't, nothing can go wrong. Like if if you don't put yourself out there, then nobody will ever see you, and you can never succeed, right? So it's hard. And what's beautiful about the internet is you can do all this for free. All you need is some free time, and if you can fit that in, then that's great. And just being, like I said before, just being consistent. um yeah, it's hard. It's hard for me to give advice because I feel like for me it was almost like a bit of a fluke, but I know that I wouldn't keep growing if people didn't enjoy what I was doing. So if yeah, it's because I kept posting and I kept putting myself out there and everything. That's how you can be
Yeah.
successful on this platform, right?
Yeah, I think you're undervaluing the work that you put in, because like you did put it like to get to that. Yeah, like
Thank you.
like to get to, like, it doesn't just, to get 20,000 followers in a couple days, or to get to 3.4 million followers. It's not, it's not just like, hey, I post 2 videos and it blows up and it happens like that. It's like you need to, even if you do get a video that blows up, yeah, you might get, maybe a couple thousand followers from it. But you need to
Yeah.
consistently post for them to actually stay around and keep enjoying your content, which is what you're doing, which is awesome. So I want to talk about the conversion, right? Because what I've seen from TikTok right now is a lot of people have, like,
Hmm.
a lot of new influencers have blown up very quickly, and they've done a huge, really awesome stride conversion to, Instagram and YouTube and like other part, like let's say, I believe her name is like Addison, uh,
Addison Ray
yeah,
something.
Addison Ray, and she's, yeah, with her conversion to, Instagram to blow up to like I think like 25 million followers on Instagram, and then starting her own company and using the the like the already followers to then market that to her products to it, which is awesome. So how have you sort of found the
Yeah.
conversion right now from TikTok to, the other platforms? Like, have you been doing a lot of conversion stuff to try and push people onto your other platforms, or has it just been sort of naturally right now people have just been sort of going over?
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't done a whole lot of marketing myself onto YouTube or Instagram. I just kind of put it in my bio and hope for the best. But I will start working on that a little bit more, because now I've just been in denial this whole time. I'm like, yeah, like I have these followers on TikTok, like that's cool, but like it can't actually be anything, so that's fine. But now I started to grow on Instagram, and then I was like, okay, well, I always did want to start YouTube, so I'm like, since I have this following, it'd be kind of stupid of me not to move over to YouTube, and I can be more creative. I can make longer videos and all that kind of stuff, and you can monetize your videos and everything, which you can't do yet in Canada on TikTok. So yeah, I feel like if I start to market my YouTube and Instagram a little bit more, I could do even better on that. But I just hate telling people what to do. I hate telling people to be like, go to my Instagram, go to my YouTube, all that kind of stuff. I posted my first like YouTube trailer on TikTok, but TikTok hates when you talk about or post anything about other platforms, I found. Like I'll
Yeah.
have all my other videos get around like whatever, like anywhere from 500,000 to a million views. And then I post something about YouTube and it's like, it just does terrible. So, but I found that like even if I mention it in a video, it just doesn't like it. But that is what it is. I totally understand. So they make it a little bit difficult to market the other platforms. But if
Yeah, yeah,
you get like even if you get like like a your core group of followers that watch every single video that do really enjoy your content, I don't need 3 million followers to follow me over to all my platforms. Like you can still be successful with having whatever, like a smaller following on both of those platforms. So I'm not like too like worried about it.
yeah, yeah. I was actually talking to I was talking like on another podcast. I had a guy who runs a social media company, and he was saying, because we were talking for a bit about like social media marketing and all that sort of stuff, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and all that sort of stuff. And he was saying like you don't need like, because I said, oh, like let's say for like somebody that needs like a couple million followers to make like a really good business out. And he says no. He says like you just like he says all you need is a couple thousand people that really like who you are, like your product or whatever it is, and
Yeah,
are willing to buy it. And he says, dude, he says like if you have like, let's say for a mining, he had a mining company. He says for a mining company, they don't need a couple million people. They just need the 20 people that are do the majority of the business and the contracts, right, to follow them and like what they do and sort of want to buy their products or buy their services, right? So yeah, like you said, you don't need
exactly,
that
exactly.
full conversion. So uh so I know that you're managed by an agency right now, right?
Yeah, just very, very recently, like within the past couple weeks here. Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
just signed with them or they just kind of help me out with like brand deal stuff and this kind of stuff just because it's since I'm not used to any of this, it's been extremely overwhelming getting all these like messages and DMs and emails. So yeah, it's been nice to have help.
Okay, awesome. So how when did you sort of see that you started getting these like brand offerings and sort of people being like, hey, we'll pay you this amount of money for you to rep our product or to do this or to do that or give us a shout out or something. Did you see it sort of once you hit like the million followers mark, or when did you sort of see that start happening?
Yeah, I started to see it probably I think I was around not even a million. I was probably around like six, seven, 800,000 followers, and I got like smaller companies kind of reaching out to me and everything. And then once I hit the million and started to grow from there, I definitely got some more bigger companies coming to ask me for help and everything like that. So yeah, but then I know some TikTokers that are not only, but they're in like the 100,000, 200,000, and they get brand deals too. So I think brands just kind of see how you are with your following and like how you converse with them, and obviously they look at analytics and everything like that too. But it's not like impossible to get brand deals if you don't have a million followers or anything like that. But that's what I found is like bigger brands started to reach out to me. So yeah.
And what sort of I don't know if you're able to say any of the names or anything, but what were like the type of brand? Was it like was it like clothing brands? Was it drink and food brands, or was it like other types of brands that were sort of reaching out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I can. Can I? I don't even know because some of them are like in the works still. So, but yeah,
Okay.
some are like bigger drink brands, and then I have some like hair product kind of brands too because I am a hairdresser, so I've
Yeah.
been kind of wanting to work with that, and some clothing brands as well, and um, but yeah, just not necessarily like not like Nike or anything like that,
Yeah.
but just brands that I already knew of because half the
Yeah.
brands beforehand they were just smaller brands that I didn't really know of, which is totally fine. I'm just totally down to help with smaller brands too because like I was a smaller TikToker at first too, so it's cool to help out, especially like local brands and that kind of thing. But yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. And then for the agency, did they reach out to you, or did you go look for an agency to manage all these stuff that was getting thrown at you?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking about looking for somebody when they reached out, so they did reach out. It was it's this Canadian company, I think they're in Montreal, and it's a group of girls who are actually around my age, and they're experienced in being an influencer and all that kind of stuff. So they're very I can talk to them anytime, that kind of thing. So it's just very personable and that kind of thing. But they did reach out to me, and then yeah, they just seem like a really cool company to work with, and they have been. And there's no smoke and mirrors. It's just pretty cut and dry, which is nice. Which I suggest if anybody is looking into working with an agency or an agent or anything, just to look through the contracts like
Yeah.
every single, because I've had friends that are TikTokers that have been absolutely screwed by some people.
Yeah.
But no, the people I'm working with are just really cool, and they've helped me out a lot. A lot of less stress on me.
That's good. Yeah, like you said, make sure you it's like anything, right? You want to make sure that you shop around a bit because like one of my brother's friends, he actually he's with an agency and he goes and plays on different cruise ships in Asia and plays music and all that sort of stuff. And you know, some of the contracts he's like, well, he's pushing back a bit just with the like the percentage cut that they're taking and stuff because he's like how much money he's already made them and stuff. So, but yeah, like you said, just make sure you're
Yeah.
shopping around, making sure like, and I've also heard from like you hear from other comedians like Jim Jeffries when he first got into comedy.
Oh
I
yeah.
think it was an agency that offered like
I that special. I
yeah,
watched that special.
and
Yeah, they like totally screwed him, and like he wasn't able to work anywhere else or
yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was something like they're like, yeah, we're gonna pay you $90,000 for five specials, and then
Yeah,
HBO
he's
offered him
like,
like,
yeah.
and then HBO offered
Yeah.
her like 50,000 for one special, did it, and then they sued him for 200 grand.
Yeah, right.
It's just like,
I know it's so bad. You really got to read that fine print and know what you're worth too, because I
yeah,
didn't at all. I'm like, I did quite a few brand deals like just for free, and I was like, sure, like whatever. And then I had this agency reach out to me, and they're like, you should not be doing anything for free. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, if I can make some money out of this too, that's cool. But yeah, totally.
yeah, that is very true. Yeah, so that's awesome. Um, So where did you so I know that you do like a lot of comedy with your TikTok. Where do you think you're gonna go with like on Instagram and I know that you do like a lot of like bits and you also do like impressions and all that sort of stuff. With your YouTube, what were sort of your ideas and sort of the next sort of stages of your, you know, growing this business?
Yeah, I'm still working on YouTube kind of. I'm kind of just testing the waters right now. I it's nice having Instagram because I'm able to ask my followers what they want to see on that platform. And a lot of people just want to see like my everyday life, which I'm like, it's pretty boring, but just like that vlog kind of stuff. But I personally kind of want to do some skits and that kind of thing, and I can do everyday life stuff or challenges and just have my weird personality with it, and people seem to be enjoying that. So um, for right now, that's kind of what I'm doing with YouTube. I don't know if it's ever going to lead to anything else other than YouTube. I've been asked if I'm going to go into acting or anything like that. I don't even know where I'd start with that, but that might be a possibility. But yeah, it's just been like being too scared to make that jump. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
I
We'll see.
I 100% think you should just like I I think you probably will go and do it like as time progresses because you're still in the very early stages of it. I think you'll probably like if whatever you choose to do, you'll probably be very successful in doing it. Um, so
Oh, thanks.
with the YouTube, what I know that you've only put out a couple episodes right now, and you said that you're sort of just feeling the water a bit. Um, so with that, do you think like because I sort of know from like watching YouTube and stuff, it's like people just like consuming regular sort of content, right? It's like, you know, whatever it is, like other like there's like very popular people going to get food, people going to like driving down the street, other stuff like that. Um, so it's like,
Yeah.
is there any like, do you think you're probably going to do vlogging or something, and what would be involved with that?
Yeah, I mean, possibly. I think that'll be a part of my channel, definitely. I'd like to do I don't know if you know YouTubers like Jenna Marbles or like Liza Koshy kind of YouTubers, just kind of doing challenges and doing little skits and doing those like fun vlogs and kind of making a skit out of it kind of thing. That's kind of how I want to go with it. I kind of want it to be organic. I don't want it to be like people knowing what's coming next for sure. Like I do want to mix it up a little bit, but I know that it's hard because people are like, you need to have a niche on YouTube. But you see all these other people like David Dobrik and all these like just huge YouTubers that just really do whatever. Or like PewDiePie even, he like does like these meme reviews and then he plays games and then he does like a daily vlog. And then once people start like, and I am blessed to have the following that I do right now, once people know who you are, they just kind of want to see you do whatever, right? So obviously I want to make it interesting. But yeah, just something along those lines, some vlogging and then maybe some entertainment kind of skits and that kind of thing, I think.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So do you actually do you play any video games right now, or are you in that sort of like yeah?
No, I was gonna say I'd like to. I kind of want to get into it. I've always been that consumer, that person that like watches people play video games like all the time. I like watching Markiplier and PewDiePie and like Jacksepticeye, all those guys, right? Um and half like they're not even that great, right? Well, not all of them, but they're just entertaining to watch. And like I really like horror games and all that kind of stuff, so I definitely like to delve into that too. Or like even reaction kind of videos or something like that. I think that would be kind of fun because that's what I like to watch. I kind of want to just do what I like to watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, but right now I'm my own team. So I've never edited before or anything like that. So I'm kind of learning that as well. So as when I learn how to edit that kind of stuff, I'll definitely try to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, true. True. So I don't know. Have you ever heard of Fiverr?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I've used Fiverr. I've used Fiverr for I made a YouTube intro and outro and that kind of thing, and it's awesome. And you can get people to edit your videos and all that kind of stuff. So I might end up doing that. We'll kind of
Yeah.
see. I'm so OCD though
Oh,
sometimes, and I like I have my idea in my head of what I want to see on the screen, and I just feel like I'll be going back and forth with somebody so much until I get something like. But I might have to end up doing that because I don't have all the time in the world to edit videos.
yeah, yeah, that is true. So, I've actually just got yeah, like a couple more questions here. I know we're coming to the end here. So one of them is actually like, have you thought about getting into Twitch or actually starting your own podcast at all?
Definitely, both of those things are things I've thought about. Like I have a Twitch account. I've done nothing on it or anything like that. But my boyfriend, he's huge into gaming. He plays PUBG and Rainbow Six and COD and all that kind of stuff. And he's just super stoked about it. He's like, we need to get you on that. He's got like his monitors and everything, so that could be a big possibility. And then with a podcast, I am so obsessed with podcasts. I think they're awesome. I've listened to them for years and years. I listen to them over music like any day. So one day I would like to have a podcast too. I don't know exactly what I would do. Probably something like you're doing, just interviewing just random people that have done something like pretty cool, right? So like yeah, something like that.
Well,
Definitely. All these things are just yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I was yeah. It must be like very exciting right now, and like in sort of your position right now, like that must be like I can tell that you're very excited with like all the opportunities that are sort of like in front of
Yeah.
you right now, where you can go, which is amazing. Actually, for the podcasting, like this would just be like a recommendation. You don't have to do it or not, but you could just do a podcast with you and yourself, and maybe like a friend who's like another entertaining sort of like goofy sort of character that has like that's like good at like sort of like slapstick comedy, and like and just have a conversation about like
Totally.
hairdressing, or because sort of like later on I do want to move this podcast into sort of just like, well, still interviewing people, but also maybe with like bringing somebody on and just talking about business or other sort of aspects and different things like that. So that's one area you could go down, but like
Absolutely.
you've got a lot of different places right now where you can go and
Yeah. But yeah, no, I like that idea too because I watch like Two Bears One Cave like
Oh yeah.
the Joe Rogan podcast and all that kind of stuff, you know? Yeah. And like watching two comedians or listening to two comedians go back and forth, it's just the best. Like those are my favorite podcasts to listen to. So, or like I listen to Last Podcast on the Left. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's three comedians and they talk about like true crime and try and like make jokes and it's just fantastic. So yeah, but that's a good idea.
That's awesome. Yeah. So actually, about the comedy, have you thought about doing stand up and actually doing like some 5 minute bits and stuff?
As a kid, that's all I ever wanted to do was do stand up. But and I have like I said it on another podcast too. I do have like books of jokes and bits that I've always wanted to do, but I don't know. I that's I'm okay with talking in front of people and everything, but I think I'd have to do it a couple times and see how it went, and then maybe one day once COVID's over and everything, because that kind of puts a damper on everything. But maybe one
Yeah.
day I'd try it.
Yeah, I was actually like I want to do in Ottawa I want to do some stand up and skits and stuff, and I've got like a few bits of material
Yeah,
that I want to do, and I know for COVID, well anyway for Ottawa they're not taking any like amateur, they're not doing any amateur nights just because they're trying to get the people to come back into the clubs and stuff, and to so they're like all like
right.
name sort of like top name performers that are usually that will be brought on. But I really like the thing about stand up is it really works well with sort of your communication skills, and also like being able
Uh,
to think quickly in tough situations. And it's really good. I find it's a very good mental exercise to go through. And also you're talking in front of people, which is also being able to win over crowds and win over people in like let's say in sales or leadership and stuff is very useful and stuff, and being able to read groups of people very easily is also really crucial in business and stuff. So I find that a lot of things in like
Absolutely.
even in like acting or comedy and stuff actually has a lot of things that will shift over into different areas of business and leadership and sales and marketing and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah,
Awesome.
just yeah, no, totally. I totally agree with you.
Awesome. So, so yeah, we're coming to the end here. What other sort of plans or anything like that do you like? I know we talked a lot about, any upcoming, with the YouTube and the Instagram and stuff. Like, do you have any other upcoming projects with your merch or anything like that, or anything in the works right now? Like maybe another type of brand or anything like that?
Yeah, I actually just got off a call right before I got on with you with I'm working with a design team for like a new website and a new merch line and everything that I'll be actually more proud of, because for right now it's just kind of like some fan art and some design that came up super quickly. That's my merch right now, which I'm not proud of it, but I don't market it that much because I'm not super proud of it. So I'm excited to come out with merch that I think is going to be something I would actually wear and like be proud of. So that'll be cool, and a website which I can actually like put more stuff on so I can seem a little bit more legitimate. But yeah, it's all just so new for me. So I'm blessed to have like help from these other people that are reaching out and stuff. So yeah, it should be exciting.
Okay, awesome. And then with your hairdresser right now, do you think you're gonna
Hmm.
do you think you're gonna like, let's say when this starts taking off a lot more and you're start able to replace your income with this from hairdressing, do you think you're still gonna do hairdressing, or are you just you think you'll do this full time?
Honestly, I think I'll always do hairdressing because I do really enjoy it, even if it's just like family and some close friends and stuff. Yeah, no, I really enjoy it, so I'll probably still do it, and just to get away from the technology part of it, and just like it's nice having just a one-on-one with somebody and just having a conversation. So like this, that's nice. So yeah, no, I'll probably always do it on the side.
Okay, awesome. So, well, yeah, so thank you for coming on the podcast. It's been great talking to you, Kris. Where can actually people find out more about, your YouTube, your TikTok, all that sort of stuff? Plug all your upcoming projects or anything else you got going on.
For sure. Yeah. So TikTok is Kallmekris, Kallmekris. And then I'm the same on YouTube, same name. And then on Instagram, I'm Kallmekris_4 because somebody else has called me Chris on Instagram. I don't know who it is, but but yeah, those are all my handles. I don't really have anything. I don't really have anything else to plug. I don't think. Yeah, but yeah, if you want to watch me, that's great. If you don't, that's okay too. But I'm just having fun over here. But yeah, it was awesome to be on your podcast. I had a lot of fun. You're super easy to talk to.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you very much.